Hello there and then welcome to a brand new video. Now in this lesson we are looking at question 5a of the BECE 2025. And as you can see it displayed, it says the pie chart shows the weight in kilogram of items Mrs. Mensah bought for her household. So this year is all that she bought. She bought gari, sugar, fish, rice, and then flour. Then you can see there are corresponding angles. So for gari, the angle is what, 90 degrees. We know this here means 90 degrees. That of fish was 54 degrees. Rice was 108. And then, no, that was flour. Flour was 54. Then rice was 108. And then fish hasn't been given, you see. So the first question says, what angle represents fish? What angle represents? So we are starting with that. Now, to get to the angle that represents fish, take note. The sum of angles over here will be 360. You see? So the sum of all this angle, that is the total angle, is equal to what? 360. So if we are adding everything to give us 360, then it means if we add that of flour to rice to fish, sugar, and then gari, we should get 360. You get it? So let's write an equation in terms of all of this. Hence, writing an equation, we say the total angle will be what? The angle representing flour, the angle representing gari, that of rice, that of what? Sugar, and then that of fish. Substituting, we are going to say that 360 is equal to 360 degrees is equal to the angle representing flour was 54, so 54 degrees plus that of gari, which is 90 degrees, plus that of rice, 108 degrees, plus that of sugar, which was 36 degrees, and then plus that of fish, which we don't know. You see? So solving further, we have 360 degrees, which is equal to, if we add all of this angle, we are going to get 288. So 288, then plus the angle representing fish. Now we want to make fish the subject, so we will subtract 288 from both sides. So that we are going to get 360 degrees minus 288 is equal to what? That of fish. 360 minus 88 gives us 72 degrees. You see? So we can end by saying what? Therefore, the angle that represents fish is what? 72 degrees. And that will be our answer for the first one. Now, the second one, that is II, it says if she bought a total of 20 kilogram of items, if she bought a total of 20 kilogram of items, what is the weight of flour bought? This one here has to do with let's say ratio and proportion. You see, it's an application of those concepts. Now it says that what if she bought 20 kilogram of items, so it means everything here, if you sum up their total weight, you are getting 20 kilogram. And if we look at the angle here, it represents 360 degrees. So 360 is to what? 20 kilogram. You see? Then the flour alone is 54. So 54 degrees. We ask ourselves, will it be more or less? Will it be more or less? It will certainly be less. Because if they are all giving us 20, then the flour will be less than all. You see? So if less, we say more divide, and then we evaluate it as 54 over 360 times this quantity we have here, which is 20. You see? So then we then have to evaluate what we have over here. So that is 54 over 360 times 20. Now this 0 here can take out this 0. You see, so you can cancel the zeros, and then 2 divides itself once, and it divides 36 how many times? 18. 18 divides itself once, and it divides 54 3 times. You see, so this is to tell us that the 54 degrees is to what? 3 kilogram. You see, and that represents the flour. So you can say, therefore, the weight of the flour, or the weight of flour bought, was what? 3 kilogram. As simple as that. And that solves the second part of the question. Now the third part says we have to express correct to one decimal place the weight of sugar as a percent of the weight of rice. You get it? We have to express as a percentage, correct to one decimal place, the weight of sugar as a percentage of that of rice. How do we go about this? This means that we need to calculate for the weight of sugar. You see, we need to calculate for the weight of sugar, and then we also calculate for the weight of rice. We are going to do these two things together, right? So just like how we solved the previous one, if you want the weight of sugar, and we know sugar's angle is what? 336 degrees. So the weight of sugar is then going to be what? The 36 over 360 times the total weight, which is 20. If we evaluate this, that is 36. This 0 cancels out this 0, and 36 into itself once, into this one 1. So we just have 2. You see? So evaluating that gives us what? 2 kilogram. That will be the weight of sugar. Then we look at the weight of rice. Now we know rice angle is 108 degrees. So this implies its weight would then be 108 over your 360 times the total weight. You see, we do our simplification. This 0 here takes out this 0, and we say 2 divides itself once. We divide this one how many times? 18 times. You see, and 18 also divides itself once. You see, so 18 divides itself once, and it also divides 108 how many times? 6 times. So you have 6 times 1, giving us what? 6. And not forgetting our unit, we are talking of 6 kilogram. You see, now we have the weight of sugar and we have the weight of rice. Let's come back to the question. Express correct to one decimal place the weight of sugar as a percentage of what? The weight of rice. So the percentage we are looking for is what? 2 of 6. That is 2 over 6. That is the weight of sugar over the weight of rice. Then we multiply it by 100. You get it? So if you have to evaluate this, we know 2 divides itself once and it divides 6 3 times. So in that case, we are going to get 100 over 3. Now, they are asking us now to do a long division. You see, that is 100 divided by 3. So we have 100 dividing 3. 3 divides 1 how many times? That is not going to be. So 3 divides 10 thrice. 3, 3, 9. If we subtract, we have 1 left. Then we bring our 0 downwards. 3 divides 10 thrice. 3, 3, 9. If we subtract as well, we have what? 1 left. And we are allowed to bring a decimal point. You see, and it continues over and over again. So 3 into 10 thrice. 3, 3, 9. If we subtract, we still have our 1. Remember, we need it to one decimal place. So we have to divide to the second decimal place so that we can see if we are going to round up or down. So 3 into 10, how many times? 3 times. And then 3, 3, 9. If we subtract, what do we have? 1. Now, this alone is enough for our estimation. So we have 3 or 33.33 into one decimal place is also going to give us what? Still 3. That is 33.3, because this one isn't enough to round it up. You get it? Hence, the weight of sugar as percentage of the weight of rice in one decimal place is then going to be what? 33.3%. And that answers 5A II beta. All right. So this was the 2025 question, and this one was actually very interesting. I do hope those who wrote it were able to do it. Now I'll give you similar question to this one. I'll just give you one, then I would hope you'd be able to do it just by looking at the procedure I used to do this one. So here you are. So the question says the pie chart below shows the distribution of fruits, also in kilogram, Mr. also bought for his juice business, right? So as you can see, it just follows the same um, format as the 5A question. Now this is your pie chart. You have to find I and then all of this, right? So if you just look at what we did in the previous one, I do hope you'll be able to apply that same idea over here to solve the question. See you in our next session where we'll be looking at question 5B of the 2025 BECE questions. If this is your first time on this channel, you can always choose to subscribe if you haven't, so that anytime I release a tutorial or a lesson video, you'll be notified as well. See you in our next video. Then bye for now.